Yeah, this is the biggest test, man. 21-0 so far. We're ready for it. We've been waiting a long time, so I can't wait, eh?
What's that extra weight, mate? Obviously, these camps you go through to peak at the right time. How does this impact things now?
We were still 7 weeks away, so we go back to the drawing board, we adjust, but it's all positive. Everything, extra 4 weeks doesn't hurt. It only helps us gain even more.
How about the hand? Obviously, you got that right from the last one. Is that fine going?
Yeah, my hand's actually the best it's ever been. I was a bit nervous getting the surgery last year. I didn't think it would help it too much, but I've got a brand new left hand. It feels so much better. I can't even remember what it was like to be able to walk into the gym without a bit of swelling in my hands and stuff like that. But we just fully focus on the fight. There's no injuries, nothing.
Has it been holding you back much, Jai? Like in fights, now you know how good it feels to have it healthy. When you look back, do you feel?
Yeah, definitely. That's sort of why I didn't want to get the surgery, because I didn't think it was going to help as much. But now that I have, I've really seen how much it was holding me back. You know what I mean? Like just being able to spar at 100%, and obviously doing things at 100%, it makes you even fitter, stronger, stuff like that. And like I feel like a whole new fighter. I feel like a whole new person, and I can't wait to sort of even show it on the world stage.
He sounds like he's pretty worried about all the snakes and spiders, mate. Do you think he should be more worried about you?
Oh man, who cares? Who cares what he says, what he's worried about? Like I said, we got to focus on our job. We got a job to do.
Could you just chat about? I know you spoke about it briefly then, but having it out here, like what does that do, kind of preparation-wise? The fact he's got to do that big plane ride out here, all those things, and then obviously fighting in your backyard. What does that mean?
To be honest, I haven't thought about it like that, bringing him out here and getting the advantage. I just want to fight for a world title in my hometown, my home country. And I feel like that's just, a dream come true, even for my first world title. But to have it here in Australia, it's awesome feeling. It's opening up more doors for other athletes, so, it's huge.
What's it, I suppose, the premise as well, is when you get to roll out of bed, you're training the same environment you've been for a long time now. What does that do for you?
It's good. It's obviously, sitting in this comfort zone and, but we're pushing our body so hard in training that it's, what I mean? It's torture sort of thing. So it's all, I don't know, we're just focusing so much on the job that we don't really think about this sort of stuff. So.
You brought you're bringing a big event to this city. I mean, how much are you hoping, obviously we know you've been here for a little while, but your names and profiles still growing. How much do you really want this city to get behind you for this one?
Oh, well, 100%, really, you know what I mean? It's, I'm fighting for a world title. I'm flying 2 flags, the Samoan flag and the Australian flag. And for everyone just to be behind me to win this world title would just be a dream come true.
Jai's a pretty all-action sort of guy. You capable of some really explosive moments as well. It looks on paper like a really fan-friendly sort of fight. Are you excited about the way it's potentially going to unfold?
Oh, man, I don't know. We'll just take each day as it comes, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure how, this is probably the hardest part of these big fights is all these cameras and trying to, talk a bit professional, you know what I mean? The boxing part's the easy part. That's what I do. That's what I know. But, when I get in front of these cameras, it's a bit hard, but,
You've never fought a bloke on this level. How do you, I guess, rise to that sort of thing?
Man, I'm on that level as well, you know what I mean? I just haven't been able to show it yet. But, we just go in there and we do what we do best. I've had a lot of international experiences. I've been all over the world, trained with a lot of champions, sparred with a lot of champions. I'm at that level, you know what I mean? My competition so far out of the 21 fights hasn't been, up there to prove it, but, this one will. And then, all those sort of questions like those ones will all be wiped out of the water.
He made the point that he was quick to bring up his age. Are you confident he's in his own head already about that?
Man, I suppose so. He's getting up there where he can't be the same sort of athlete. He's trying to tell himself, I'm still fit, I'm still this, I'm still that. He's just trying to tell himself that, I think. But like I said, we focus on us, we get fit, and yeah.
Can you draw on, what Jeff did with Manny in that fight? We knew Manny, what his record was. Everyone knew that he was going to win, even in the later stages of that game. It looked like he was going to that match. It looked like he was going to win. Can you draw on kind of silencing doubters and doing the unthinkable or the unexpected?
Yeah, definitely. You know, for him to sort of get that big upset, and even George Kambosos, you know, that sort of upset, and even George Kambosos having those like sort of setbacks, the fight always got pushed back and stuff. You know, these are things that happen in boxing, and you know, even George showed like all we got to do is train hard, focus, and you know, all the doubters will become fans at the end of the day.
Talk about Kambosos, he's doing great things. I mean, Tim Zoo's doing good things. Lots of good things happening in Australian boxing. You obviously want to be part of that.
Yeah, lots of good things in Australian boxing, man. You know, it's almost back at its peak at the moment. I feel like, and you know, bringing this here to Australia is even another big thing. And then I suppose one of the other boys will bring another big fight to Australia. That's what it's all about. You know, building our own platform for these up and comers as well.
When someone's on the other side.
I know you said you're happy to wait. How did you initially feel when you got that phone call, that text message, when the fight has actually been delayed?
To be honest, it didn't really faze me that much. You know what I mean? Like these things happen, especially in boxing. There's always someone's got an injury, especially with COVID as well. You know, like I had so many fights pull out. I had my own injuries, stuff like that. These things happen, so you just got to look at them at a positive point of view, and just keep working.
What about his current employer? That's obviously a big disruption in his camp. Is that any advantage to you, do you think?
And I had COVID. I finished it, but it's not going to set him back too much, especially with the extra 4 weeks. So, yeah. So easy.
Good stuff, mate.
Anything?
Dean, a number of host cities were floated in the Gold Coast, seemed like the underdog at the time. How did you still get that?
Look, it comes down to what's the best fit. And the Gold Coast was serious about wanting to have this fight here. And as a result, that's why we're here. Though obviously I've got a long-term and good relationship with TEQ, which is the Tourism Events Queensland, and they were very supportive. And then Major Events Gold Coast saw the value of this. This is going to be broadcast in probably 20 or 30 countries around the world, and some of the biggest tourist markets around the world that come to the coast. And one of the great things is we get to show that off through a combination of social media and what we'll integrate with vignettes into the broadcast. So, mate, it's just a great place to be. And the Gold Coast show they're serious about attracting, big events by what they did.
Is this a bit of an investment from yourself to, maybe...
Of course. No, look, it costs a lot of money to put a world title fight on. And, it's best to have hometown advantage. There'll be a whole lot of neutral judges fly in from all around the world and neutral referees. But, the home crowd supporting Jai could make the difference on the decision, So it was very important for us to have this fight here, and this is what Jai wanted. And at the end of the day, my job as a promoter is to deliver to my athletes on their dreams, goals, and visions. And this is what he wanted, and he's had amazing support from his management crew and Tasman fighters and Mick and Fran, and they've been great supporters to help get us here as well. And without them, it wouldn't be happening. So it's a big team effort to make it happen.
Sounds like he's worried about the wrong thing and he's worried about the fight.
I tell you what, on the night before the fight, I'll be throwing huntsmen and snakes in his room and just seeing how he goes. We'll see how good he is.
How difficult is it to get the challenger to host the fight? Like, obviously, with him, he'd probably be like, if you want to come get my belt, come over here.
Briedis had a fight up in Latvia, in Riga, in about, I think it was November. He's been on the road a number of times. And I'll be honest with you, I think his promotional company were very keen to come down here and see what's going on in Australia. So, and he's got no problems getting on the road, and of course the judges and the referees are going to be all neutral, so he doesn't seem to have too much concern about that. So at the end of the day, when it comes to these big fights, there's one thing rules: pay the money and they turn up, and that's what we've had to do. Is you lay the money down and they turn up. And thanks to our great partners, whether it be Major Events Gold Coast, whether it be TEQ, whether it be Palmerbet, Fox Sports in particular, these are the things that make this happen.
Dean, we've seen Jai, after fights, the first thing he does is have to ice that hand up back in the dressing rooms. How dangerous is he now with two functioning?
I can't wait to see Jai fight with two hands uninjured and train with two hands uninjured. That he managed to get to where he's got in the world with one broken hand, which by the way was his main strike weapon, is just incredible. And he wasn't that keen to get it fixed, when we all sat down and said, mate, this has to happen. It took a lot longer than what we thought, probably 6 to 8 months to come right. And it was essential, I felt, that we did a warm-up fight for him just to make sure the hand was good. We did that in December, and now he's perfectly positioned with a lot of confidence to go into this fight, and I think win this fight. And I just think you're going to be astounded how good Jai Opetaia is. And we've had a couple of questions say, you know, you haven't fought opposition of this level before. What I think can tell you about Jai Opetaia is that he raises to the opposition. No matter how high you set the bar, he will get up there. 26 years of age in his prime against an aging 37-year-old worried about spiders and snakes. Seriously, this is going to be one hell of a contest. And I know for a fact, you know, Briedis is looking all over the world at the moment. He wants to have a unification fight after this with Lawrence Okoli from the WBO. Their promoters have told me this. He was, I don't know, he was the world's smartest man. Like, seriously, who goes in and puts a tattoo on yourself to have a fight against a guy like Jake Paul when you're no chance of getting that fight? For him to fight Paul, he'd have to vacate his world title belt. So I'm going to be, look, he looks like a lovely bloke, and I'm going to be fascinated to see. He's a very, very good fighter. There's no argument with that. And it'll be interesting to see how he promotes us down here, but I'll be chasing him all over Australia and the Gold Coast with a harmless snake that I'm comfortable picking up, just to put him on edge.
Probably on an e-sport, that's about it. But no, looking at Jai, you know, he says champions made in the gym. That's made me motivated that I'll go back to the gym now.
On a more serious note, Tom, over the past couple of years, we have seen promoters come in and make promises of making the Gold Coast a mecca of fighting. It hasn't panned out, but is this now? This is a world title. It's massive. It's an opportunity.
Yeah, time's moved on. I mean, the city is internationally known, Commonwealth Games. The people on the Gold Coast love their sport and events. And you know, this is a world title fight. It's been 5 years since. And I'd say more than anything, I love to see Jai gets up and take the world title right here on the Gold Coast. And that should break the glass ceiling of, if there's going to be world titles, the Gold Coast is one of the places that, as an Australian, you should consider.
When did these conversations first start happening about getting this fight?
Oh, many months ago, and but no, it's always like in the ring, a good tussle to get a fair deal for all. And just saying to Dean that whatever the date, I'll do my best to make sure that that facility is there.
Did you hear Dean say that the Gold Coast was one of his favourite spots in all of Australia or all the world, I think he said? What does that mean to you?
Well, it is heartfelt that that he has that opinion in our city, for our city, and for those sort of comments. He's going to be a great ambassador to draw not just boxing to the Gold Coast world title fight, but other world championship in martial sport, UFC and all that. I'd say take note to Dean's comment, and we'll do all we can to accommodate to happen here on the Gold Coast.
It looks like a lot of big events. Is this potential to start a very beneficial relationship with the Gold Coast?
I will take it on as is the kind of event that we want to attract on the Gold Coast. So in the future, we will be working hand in glove with Dean and other promoters to go, you know, come and see us, and we're very keen because the people in Queensland, it's not far to travel to come and fill the stadium up and cheer Jai on.